Aloha friends, it's Maria and I'm chilling at the beach. I'm wearing my shades because I had eye surgery, don't judge me. Everybody gets like, you need to get the light in your eye. I understand that, but I had eye surgery, they're a little sensitive, so that's why. But I want to talk to you about coffee and why I don't drink it anymore. And I know this won't be the most popular video I ever put out there because nobody wants to give up their coffee, but I think knowledge is power. So even if you listen to it and just take the knowledge in, I think that would be very, very helpful. And I want to start by saying, there's some people paddleboarding out here, kind of fun. I worked at a coffee shop since I was 15 years old. I loved coffee. I had an IV of coffee in me all the time, and I understand the desire for not wanting to quit it, okay? It's a ritual, it's something you look forward to in the morning, helps you get out of bed. I wish I would have quit earlier. I wish I would have quit earlier because I feel so much better without it. So much better, I have so much more energy. But let's step through some of the reasons why to cut it. First of all, I find it very interesting that people complain about the cost of eggs right now, but when I'm at an airport, it could be 8 p.m., could be 10 p.m., there's a line out the door at Starbucks. People spend, I worked at those coffee shops, not Starbucks, but I worked at them. I know how expensive those drinks are. One drink is the cost of how many eggs, and yet we're complaining about eggs that will actually give us nutrients. So just think about that. But so the first thing is it lowers insulin sensitivity, and that's exactly opposite of what you want to happen. So that's probably the biggest reason that I think everybody should quit it, because coffee reduces your insulin sensitivity, which will cause you to have a harder time losing weight. I can't tell you how many testimonies I have of people finally cutting coffee, and that's the only thing they changed that week, and they lost 3 pounds. And if you have a testimony like that, comment below because I'd love to hear it. Number 2 reason, it increases blood sugar. It messes with my blood sugar so much now because I have gone so long without caffeine. I almost get nauseous, like I feel like I have to throw up. And there's times like when, we're in Paris or something, I really want a little espresso, but I just don't do it. I feel so much better without it. But so what happens is when blood sugar goes up while you're drinking it, your hunger goes away, which everybody's like, oh, when I'm really hungry, I just drink a cup of coffee and it goes away. But what goes up must come down. So sure, your blood sugar goes up, your hunger goes away, but when it comes down, this is when cravings happen, this is when hunger comes back tenfold. So it really doesn't take away your hunger at all, it's just temporary, and it's gonna make it stronger later. And that's usually people they'll crave chocolate at 3 p.m. or something like that. So just something to be aware. Number 3 is I consult clients all day, and something I see in just about everybody is they have sleep issues. They have a hard time falling asleep, staying asleep, whatever, and caffeine is just one of those things that's going to keep you from good sleep. And good sleep is so important for so many aspects of your health. So coffee, bad sleep, cut it out, you'll sleep better. Number 4 is mold. Coffee is the most mold-containing product out there. Nobody wants mold. Everybody knows we need to get the mold out. We even have a little machine in our house to get rid of mold because Craig has it. He has a hard time getting rid of it. But coffee has mold. I don't care what company tells you they don't have mold in their coffee. They do. It's been shown on every brand of coffee. So just be aware that nobody wants mold, right? Yuck. Number 5, it increases androgens. So this is why I wish I would have quit earlier. Not just because I feel so much better, my energy's better, but most of you know I had PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is basically a type 2 diabetes that affects female fertility. Coffee increases androgens, and too many androgens in a female body is what causes PCOS. So just another reason to cut out coffee. Let's see, it stains your teeth, so if you want those beautiful pearly whites, cut the coffee out. Let's see, it increases anxiety. Yes, coffee. I remember when I would have one too many cups of coffee and I felt like a rubber band about to snap. It's just, I'm not even an anxious person, and it would just make me you know, it's not that kind of energy that I really wanted. It increases blood pressure. So if you have blood pressure issues, that's another one. Oh, this is a big one. It leaches calcium from the bones. Osteopenia, osteoporosis is real. I see it a lot, especially in my female clients, and you don't want to leach any more calcium from your bones, right? So another reason I'm glad I cut it out. It also causes GI issues. Caffeine blocks this molecule called andesine, and that's what you want for a healthy gut. It also, the acidity in the coffee is also very harsh on the gut. So anybody with Crohn's, colitis, diverticulitis, that's a good reason to cut it out. Excuse me. It's expensive. I talked about that. This is number 11. It's expensive. I already talked about how people complain about the cost of eggs, but yet they'll go to Starbucks to get coffee. It's just, not only is it expensive, but if you have eggs instead of the coffee, the bulletproof coffee, let's say, the bulletproof coffee, a lot of people think, you know, I started keto, I got to do the bulletproof coffee, that's like the thing. Actually, if you look at a plate of steak and eggs versus coffee, a bulletproof coffee, you get basically 0 nutrients. Sugar actually has more nutrients than MCT oil does. So I would just say, eat, and chewing your calories gives you this satisfaction of, it registers hormones in your brain to tell you that you're full and satisfied. So chewing your calories is much more effective than just drinking them. And it also increases triglycerides. We don't want that. So I've done a lot of tests with people, and when they have coffee before a cholesterol test, their triglycerides are going to go through the roof. So just another reason to cut it out. So you're like, okay, so how do I cut it out, right? It was very hard for me. Some people just want to rip the Band-Aid off and do it. Go for it, do it. You might have some headaches, but it's okay. What I did was, I didn't go to decaf coffee because decaf coffee is made with a chlorinated filtration process, which is really hard on your thyroid, and it's just not really something that I wanted to do. So instead of decaf coffee, I had a decaf Americano, which is a shot of espresso with hot water. And what's interesting, everybody thinks, oh, espresso has a lot more caffeine than coffee. No, actually it doesn't. A shot of espresso has about 50 milligrams of caffeine. A cup of coffee has about 200. So you do a shot of decaf, and a decaf Americano is way better than decaf coffee, let me tell you. So a shot of decaf espresso, and then you add hot water to it. It's just like a decaf coffee that tastes good. And so I would just keep watering that down. Before you know it, it was just something warm I wanted in the morning. But now I'm all about cold therapy and ice, so I only drink like ice water in the morning. I don't even go to tea or anything anymore. So with that knowledge, I hope you take that maybe to your friends, tell them about coffee, like, hey, do you know that if you have PCOS, you probably shouldn't have coffee? Do you know that you have high triglycerides? Cutting coffee can help. You have sleep issues, cutting coffee can help. So, you know, just spread the word. Knowledge is power. And comment below if you have cut coffee or your struggles of cutting coffee. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear them. I love these testimonies that are in the comments of my videos. Are super cool and super powerful. You inspire others. So keep it going, everybody, and enjoy the view. If you want to change your life like I've changed mine with food, I would be honored to help you. Many of you don't know that I was twice my size. I had acid reflux. I had PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I had depression. I had IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. And food changed my life. And not only did that happen, I get to eat good food, right? Good food. So if you want to eat good food, I have perfected meal plans made by me and personal help with supplements or modifications. If you have Hashimoto's, if you have Graves, if you have IBS, if you have PCOS, contact me. I would be honored to help you. You can go to keto-adapted.com and find a lot of different options there for personalized help, or message me by commenting below on this YouTube video, or You can check me out at mariamindbodyhealth.com. Mahalo.